All right, so this time we're going to start with her nose because it's super easy compared to things like her eyes and her hair and her lips and all like that. So somewhere kind of in the upper middle of your paper, you're just going to make this one curve here. Not that big at all. Not as round as the letter C. In fact, let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see it a little better. So just drew that line right there. And then on the other side, we've got one flatter line for her nostril and then one line for the outside of the nostril. So there's my flat line. And then here's my curved line. And this isn't like regular school. You guys can unmute yourselves and talk to your friends all you want. Don't worry about it. Then above her nose, we've got this line here that's going to curve a little bit to the left. So I'm not going to touch this line. I'm going to go a little bit above, curve it over. And connected to that line is her eyebrow. So I'll draw a longer flat line on the bottom and a shorter one on the top. That one curved a little bit too much. Let's flatten that out. Then for her other eyebrow, we're going to use our imagination a little bit. We have to see that this eyebrow comes right above her nostril on this side. And it's the same position across. So there's like this big triangle across from this eyebrow above the nostril. You can even draw it really lightly if you want the help. So now I know that's where the other eyebrow is going to be. And the other eyebrow has this little diagonal line in front. Then we have this long swoopy line on the bottom.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Mickey. Then it's really thin on this side, but thick in the middle. So I'll put the point on first, make that thin. And then we'll connect it up in the middle, thicker. Can you guys let me know if I'm going too fast? Next, we're going to draw her eye over on the left side. So first we're going to draw this line that looks just like this line, only shorter. And then we're going to go around the top, and we're going to stop before we get to the end of the eyebrow. So I can't draw it out here because that's too far, that's past her eyebrow. I have to make sure to stop before it gets to the end of her eyebrow. If you feel like her eye is too small and you want to make a big, beautiful eye, you'll have to move your eyebrow out first, and then you can make the eye bigger. Then on the bottom of her eye, we have some straighter lines, straight across the bottom, and just a little bit of a curve to go up to the point. So I'll go flat right across the bottom. And then our final line connecting up her eye. Then we're going to add her big, thick eyelash. So I have to make a line start from the eye and then go above. And we'll flick it up right at the end. That's one part of the eyelash, and then we'll have to bring this one back. And if you want to, you can color in the whole thing. You know, that's her eyelashes. Then we'll need a couple of curving lines for the iris, the colored part of the eye. And then we'll make one more curve for the pupil, black in the center. My sister's playing video games very excitedly. Sorry if you can hear her screaming in the background.
Sounds like she's having a great time, or a really
Right?
bad time.
Then we're going to go ahead and draw her other eye. So one thing we're going to take a look at, the bottom of her eyes, you can almost connect them. They're on the same level. So on my drawing, I know the bottom of her other eye is going to be at the same level as the first eye. You can give yourself a very light line if you think it'll help you. You can also see that her eye is shorter than, or more to the right than her eyebrow, and it ends right at the end of her eyebrow right there. So on mine, the end of her eye will be right there, and the beginning of her eye a little bit to the right of her eyebrow, so probably right there. Super, super lightly. We're going to erase those later. but that'll help me make her eye the right size. Same thing, we're going to start with that inner curve first, just the first half. You can see how the line goes up, and then it's going to come back down a little bit. So the other half of the curve goes back down. And on the bottom, it's flat again and curves back up. If you drew the eye and you go, oh, I think it looks too small, go ahead and leave your lines, but just add more. Then erase later. If you think your eye looks too big, cut some off, but make your lines first and erase second. Then we're going to add those big thick eyelashes. The same thing, we're going to come around the eye and then we'll go a little bit higher. Flick. Come back down onto the eye and color it in. Oh, it's a little thicker on this side. I'm going to make mine a little thicker. And then we'll have her eye facing the same direction. And you can see the bottom of the oval this time. So I'm going to see just a little bit of the bottom of the oval. And then we'll make another line on the inside for the black part, the pupil. And anytime you see something different that you want to change, just use your eraser and change it. I can see that this eyebrow is a little bit close to this eye compared to how it is in the picture, so I might move her eyebrow up a little bit. Then I'll have room to put in this one little curve for her eyelid. On the other side too, one little curve for her eyelid. Next, we're going to draw her lips. But instead of starting with the outside, we're going to start with her inside smile first. This one line that's a nice easy curve. How big do we make it? Well, this one stops right underneath her eye, and this one stops right at the corner of her eye. So I can do the same thing on mine. Corner of the eye, middle of the eye, so I know that's how big her mouth is going to be. And I'll put a nice curve. With a little tiny line for her mouth right there. That's the first line that opens up if she talks or eats something, eats some chocolate. Next, we're going to draw her bottom lip, but here's what not to do. Don't do this. Don't just make a curve like this because it looks like her lip is twisting. We want the lowest part of the curve to be on the left. So I'm going to start with how thick I want her lips over here on the left. I'll give myself a little mark. That's how thick I want her lips to be. Then it's like connect the dots. Connect those two dots right there. Connect those two dots right there. Same thing with her top lip. I don't want to do this. I don't want to start in the middle and do that because now her lips are uneven. She's turning a little bit to the left. So we have to put one long side of the lip and then one short side of the lip. So here's my short side. I think I might even make it a little bit shorter. And then here's my long side. Then let's go ahead and draw her face shape. We're going to start over here, right where we can see that the eyebrow is connected to the eyelash with a bit of her face line. So my eyebrow connected to my eyelash. Then it gets really close to the eye, but it doesn't touch. Then what? Then we got to go back out for a cheek. Then her chin needs to be right underneath that little middle point of her lips. So right beneath that middle point in the lips, I want her chin to be that long. Connect the dots. And this side is pretty straight. So we're going to go a little bit straighter on the way up. And then we have to turn again and go a little bit more up for this last part. And right at about the same level of her as her nose, we'll put in this set of lines for her ear. Just one little straight line that way, and then straight line up, and that's going to be her ear right here. Inside her ear, we've got a little zigzag like lightning. We can't see the top of her ear though. She has some hair that starts very close to her eyelashes and then goes right on top of the ear. So I'll do that on mine too. Very close to the eyelashes. Curves back right over the ear. My line touched my eyelashes. That's not supposed to happen. Erase that, make it close to the eyelashes, but not touching. And there's also this little piece of hair that almost touches her jawline. So right from her jawline, I'll go back up into her hair, back up into her hair. Next, we're going to draw her freckles. How many on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I think I made it too close to her hair. I'm going to move it a little bit. On the other side, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's go ahead and draw her bangs. So right above this eye, we have where the hair goes in different directions. So on mine, I'm going to go above my eye. This hair isn't going to touch the eyebrow. I have my one curve right there. And on the other side, it comes close to the end of the eyebrow. It doesn't make it, just close. And we'll draw the other side right there. The other one curves a little more. You can see how it curves more than the first line. Then on this side, we've got a big long line that goes swoosh almost right above her ear. And go big lines, swoosh, until it goes right above her ear. I missed this line, that's okay, I'm just going to make it longer, make those touch. Then on the top, we've got a little bit like a slide where it goes up first and then down and swoosh. On the top, we'll start at the top of the slide and then go down and swoosh. Back to this side, we've got one that comes down and almost touches the middle of the eyebrow. And we'll go back up. And this next one is going to be super long. Look how far it goes, all the way down. Touches her eyebrow, keeps on going, way out there. So here we go, I'm going to come down and touch the eyebrow first. Bingo. But I can't stop there, I have to keep going, keep going. And the top of this lock of hair starts way over here, way past that first V we made. Big up and then swoop back down. So here's that V. That means I have to go even closer to this line, starting over here. Big. Big, big curve, and then down and connect. And this side of the hair is pretty easy. We've got one curve that comes below her eye. Like it's pointing to her freckles. And then one more little point right underneath that big piece. Then we'll draw her neck. You can see that if we follow the nose line down, 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 that's where her neck will start. If I can do the same thing on mine, follow my nose line, down, 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 down. That's where the neck starts. It goes down straight for only a little bit, and then slopes on the shoulder for a long line. How far does that line go? All the way to the tip of her hair. Once you get that far, we go down again for her sleeve. And then on the other side, coming down right from the edge of her eye. And we have a long sweeping line right to the inside of her jacket. And you can see the curve of her collar goes right into that line we just made. And we can draw her other shoulder. There's a little straight line there. Another little straight line there. And you can see the bodice of her dress makes like a little triangle right there. So to make this a triangle, I have to have another line right here. Keep going, and then go back. Let's go ahead and finish the inside of her little jacket here. So I just need a curving line. The other side, we're going to have a big curving line for her collar, but you can see that the points are right on the same line from one another. So if I make myself a very light line from that point, I know my curve is going to go from her neck, curving all the way around.
Got it.
Echo, echo, echo. And we have one more big sweeping line this way. Anytime you see something that you want to change, go ahead and change it. I can see that I made my bump right here a little too bumpy. This one's not quite as bumpy. So I'm going to draw first, make it less bumpy. Then I'll come in and erase the line I don't want. And just like the top of a heart, we're going to put the top of her dress inside of her jacket there. So we have one big curve and a tiny, tiny, tiny little curve. And then she has some fancy decorations on the neckline right here. So we're going to start with a circle. You can see the circle isn't in the middle. It's not here because then it wouldn't leave enough room for these little leafy things. So we have to put the circle very, very close to the edge, right over here. Closer to this side, far away from that side. Then we'll have room to put on one leaf here, one leaf here. Pair of leaves on this side. And if you can fit one or two more on this side, go ahead and draw those in. Just little leafy shapes. And we're going to go ahead and draw these lines here to show where her sleeve is. So from the point on the shoulder, this point right here, we're going to have a line that curves around. And then there's another little line that shows the bottom of her sleeve. And you can make those lines longer if you want. You can go right off the paper. Next, let's come back and finish her hair. I think I'm going to run out of room again, so that's why I have an extra piece of paper. I can always tape it together if I need to. So let's ignore all these lines in the middle and just look at this big shape here. It goes right around her head. We'll start over here where it's close to the ear, so it'll be easy. Close to the ear, but not touching. And it goes right into her neck there, making a tiny little shape by her jaw. And if we were to draw her head right through her hair, it would probably connect right to her hair up there. So I'm going to either draw lightly or lift your pencil when you go through this big piece of hair and keep going up, 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 all the way around. Just lightly. If it's too big, you can always make it smaller later. Then we're going to draw this braid along the top. First, we're just going to look at this top row. You can see there's a curve, and then there's a curve. In fact, let me go ahead and zoom in so we can see better. Take a look right here. So there's a curve, and then we back up a little bit, and we make another curve, and we back up a bit, and we make a curve, and we make a curve all the way around her head. So on my drawing here, let's start from the line and make a little curve. Then we'll back up a little bit and make another big curve. And back up again and make another curve. Back up again and make another curve. And start heading downhill now so we can go around her head. So I'm making my curves go more down. Another one. And before we get to the end, you can see that she has some hair that sweeps and covers up her braid. So once we get to this part of the hair, we can have some hair sweeping back and covers up that braid. I think her hair got too big on this side, so I'm just going to erase some. So the top part, now we're going to do the middle part. Put a curve right where this one's pointing, and make a curve, make a curve, make a curve. And lastly, you can come back along the edge. Whoops. And finish off the braid. Just where you can see it. Most of the time the bangs cover it. And for the rest of her hair, all we need is these curving lines to show that it's all being pinned up and pinned back in place. So I'm just going to curve my lines. Right into the braid. Notice they're not curves like this, not like the letter C. They're more flat on top and then curve at the end. Flat on top and then curve at the end. And she's got some little plant jewelry in her hair. So we're going to make some leafy shapes. Little diamonds. And they're going to get smaller as they get to the top, a little bit like wheat. And then we have a little extra time. Look at that. So you can add some bonus details. Maybe you want to give her some earrings, or maybe you want to give her some designs on her little jacket. Maybe you want to put a crown on her head. That's up for you to add one detail of your own.
You forgot one line on the hair.
I forgot a line on the hair? I'll put up the reference so you guys can fill in any lines that you want.
Like the front left?
Where the pine coney thing is.
Where the pine coney thing is. Over on this side?
Yeah.
And
right
then
there,
go
right in
down.
There. Yeah, that big
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I forgot the interior lines. Good observation. We can put in that one. So where does it start? Somewhere kind of in the middle of this second one. Where does it end? Almost touching over there. Oops, curvier than that. So I'm going to draw the line I want first. And then erase the one I don't like. And then the other one, shorter. There's another one in this lock too, if you want to add that one. Whoosh. I think I'll add a few more to show her hair wrapping around the side here. Ooh, I gave her some extra hair, some beehive. I'll take it down a little bit. There's about 5 more minutes for you to add your own details, and then we'll take a look at everybody's Princess Anna. Three more minutes. One more minute. Okay, time is up. Go ahead and show your drawing up to your camera and I will spotlight the view for everybody. Let's see who sees. Spotting up for everyone. Woo! I like it. Look at those big, beautiful eyes. Lovely work. And it looks like Fuli is putting hers up too. Whoa, you guys both drew big, beautiful eyes. Love it. Who's next? Callista. Let's put Callista's spotlight on. Ooh, lovely. Look at that braid. Nice job. And let's see your mom's too. Oh, look at that. I like the dress detail. And let's see, is Hania, you got yours ready? Let's put that spotlight on you. Ooh, you even got some color in there. Nice job.
Good job.
Very nice work. How are yours, Frank? Whoa, better than the teachers.
That's so good.
And then Michaela, do you have anything you want to show?
No.
Nope. Okay, let me just show you real quick before you guys leave. Here's what we'll be drawing next week. Aww, sisterly love.
Aww.
So come back next Friday and we'll draw this one together. I know it's going to be challenging, 2 faces, but we can do it. All right, that looks like it's
Bye.
about it. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you for drawing with me.